We were studying about the lysosomes and we studied the structure of the lysosomes in the previous class. And today we have to continue this chapter. We did not complete the chapter of the lysosomes. Today what we are going to see, we are going to study about the various enzymes that are produced by the lysosomes and the functions of these enzymes that are produced by the lysosomes. And then also some related diseases. Please note this down. Some related diseases. Now, beta, let me tell you one thing. कि lysosomes जो हैं, they are very, very important regarding the board exam. बोर्ड एग्जाम में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं जिनमें के आपके पास स्पेसिफिक फंक्शंस और रिलेटेड कॉन्सेप्ट्स के बारे में. And lysosome is such a topic जिसमें के you should expect many questions in the board exam, especially the enzymes, the type of enzyme, the functions of the lysosome, the various styles of action of the lysosome, and then the nature of the lysosome, the pH of the lysosome. MCQ question में आ जाता है. फिर उसके बाद the related diseases of the lysosomes. I hope all of you have got the books. You have to open your books to the topic of lysosomes. And you have to write down what I'm telling you with this. I will try, I give you as much information as is suitable for your level. So try to note down everything. Some of the things might be present in your book. Some of the things might not be present in your book, but you have to give your book one read. When you go home after the lecture, just read the topic at least once, beta. ठीक है. तो related enzymes है lysosomes के बारे में. How lysosomes are produced, we will revise how lysosomes are produced. We did it in the last class and we will do it again. And then the various functions of the lysosomes, and then the diseases related to the lysosomes. Now, first of all, the lysosomes that are revision of the previous topic, the lysosomes that are produced initially from the vacuoles are the primary lysosomes. They are the primary lysosomes. And these primary lysosomes, when they fuse with the food particle, note down these things, when they fuse with the food particle and they start to pour their enzymes on top of the food and they start to digest the enzymes that are present inside, digest the food by using the enzymes present inside them, then that combination of the primary lysosome and the food particle is called the secondary lysosome. It is known as the secondary lysosome. In some books, it is also called the food vacuole, but it is better that you refer to it as a secondary lysosome. Okay? Now, the food is digested inside that secondary lysosome, and then the useful materials of the food, they are extracted from that secondary lysosome. And then what is left behind? What is left behind is just the waste material. Now that secondary lysosome or food vacuole is going to be called the contractile vacuole. The contractile vacuole, it contains all the waste materials of the plant or of the cell. This contractile vacuole, it moves around for some time in the cytoplasm, and then what does it do? It fuses with the cell membrane. It fuses with the cell membrane, and then it is passed out of the cell. It's removed from the cell. Okay, it is passed out of the cell, the contractile vacuole. Now, the nature of the enzymes that are present inside the lysosomes are generally acidic. So, हम जब lysosome को देखते हैं तो उसकी एसिडिक नेचर होती है. जैसे कि न्यूक्लियस के अंदर भी आपके पास जो एंजाइम्स हैं उनका क्या है, उनका एसिडिक नेचर होता है. इसी तरह यहाँ पर भी हमारे पास क्या है, हमारे पास एसिडिक नेचर के एंजाइम्स हैं that are present inside the lysosome. They function to detoxify the foods, they function to break down the materials. These lysosomes are present mainly we have many lysosomes present in the animal cells, because animal cells most of the time their body जो है, it is exposed to a lot of foreign materials and they take in solid foods. तो ये lysosomes जो हैं ये ज़्यादातर क्या हैं, they are present inside the animal cell, but however we have lysosome presence in plant cells also. ये मत सोचिए कि plant cells के अंदर lysosome नहीं होते हैं, and they carry out the Same function. Now, let me come to this side of the board now. Okay. Now, the lysosomal enzymes, what the function of the lysosomal enzymes are. The lysosome is carrying out, basically it is carrying out three main processes. What I have just explained over here, यहाँ पर मैंने जो बताया है, जिसमें कि primary lysosome, it fuses with the secondary lysosome and it digests the food. This is the first function of the lysosome. And this digestion, because it is taking place inside the cell, it is taking place inside the site of production of the inside the site of production of the enzyme. So it is called intracellular. It is called intracellular, and this type of digestion is called intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion is a very important function of the lysosome, and we see that the digestion is taking place inside the cell, inside the site of production. This is the first important function of the lysosome. It is called the intracellular digestion. Then the removal of the contractile vacuole from the cell membrane, it is removed out of the cell. So that is called exocytosis. It is called exocytosis. Cytosis out of the cell. Pinching off and removing the material out of the cell. Exocytosis. This is the first function. Now the second function. The second function of the lysosome is autophagy. 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 Autophagy का मतलब होता है self eating. Autophagy का मतलब होता है self eating. खुद को खा जाना. कैसे खुद को खा जाना, कैसे खुद को डाइजेस्ट कर लेना, मतलब यहाँ पर क्या है कि द वीक, और नोट कर लीजिए, और worn out organelles, weak or worn out organelles, they are digested. For example, in the last class I showed you the sketch, I showed you the diagram of the mitochondria. The weak or worn out organelles are digested by the process of autophagy, and the lysosomes that carry out autophagy. Now these are the food vacuoles. These ones are going to be called the Autophagosomes. They are called the Autophagosomes. They are called the Autophagosomes. The worn out organelles are digested by the lysosomes. बहुत सारी एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, बहुत सारा वेयर एंड टियर होता है बॉडी का, हैवी स्ट्रेनस एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, फिर उसके बाद ये है कि जो है ना आपकी बॉडी के अंदर नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, फिर एकदम से यू जस्ट स्टॉप डूइंग एक्सरसाइज, सो द एक्स्ट्रा माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया जो है दे हैव टू बी डाइजेस्टेड एंड दे हैव टू बी रिमूव्ड. ठीक है, तो एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्गेनील्स, डैमेज्ड ऑर्गेनील्स, दे आर ऑल डाइजेस्टेड बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ ऑटोफैजी, एंड द टाइप ऑफ लाइसोसोम्स दैट कैरी आउट ऑटोफैजी आर ऑटोफैगोसोम्स. बेटा दीज आर ऑल शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस and you should expect them in the exam. Beta, contractile vacuole is the waste product that is remaining after digestion of the food vacuole. That is known as a contractile vacuole. You can say that it is the excretory vacuole which contains the excretory substances inside. Okay? Okay. Now the next one is, let me come here now. The next process is autolysis. Autophagy is eating of a part of a cell. Autolysis is digestion of the entire cell. Digestion of the entire cell. The lysosomes, they burst or they release their secretions in the cytoplasm. ठीक है, they burst and release their secretions in the cytoplasm, and the cytoplasm gets filled up with the lysosomal enzymes, and these enzymes, they just start an uncontrolled general digestion of that cell. That is called autolysis, and such lysosomes that bring about this process of autolysis are called suicidal bags. बेटा ये सारे बहुत important हैं, ये आपसे सारा कुछ जो है ना ये बोर्ड में पूछा जा सकता है. They are called the suicidal bags, and this is also what happens during the process of apoptosis. Apoptosis is the programmed cell death, which is a normal process in our body, or we can say in necrosis. This is the situation that we see in necrosis also, in which cell death takes place due to spread of enzymes inside the cell. Now let us go back to the presentation and let me show you what we have in the presentation. फिर उसके बाद हम वापस बोर्ड की तरफ आते हैं. Again we will come back to the board. Okay. Okay, now yeah. This is the production of the lysosomes. Look here now. This is the production of the lysosomes. This is the food vacuole. This is the engulfing of the food vacuole, and this is the combination, and this is the secondary lysosome. Okay, digestion of food. This is the engulfing of damaged organelle like mitochondria, and then the digestion, and then removal from the body in the form of contractile vacuoles. Lysosomes contain 40 different digestive enzymes. They are acidic in nature. The main function of the lysosome is intracellular digestion, autophagy, autolysis. Beta, you can get this question as a part of the long question, and it can come as a full short question also. You might be asked to write one function in detail, and it is a short question, a very important question. Intracellular digestion, food vacuoles combine with the primary lysosomes, and then they form the secondary lysosome. The contractile vacuole is produced after digestion of the food, and the contractile vacuole is removed from the lysosome by the process of exocytosis. It moves out of the cell by fusing with the cell membrane. This is called intracellular digestion. Let me complete this topic, then I will take your questions. Autophagy. Autophagy is the self-eating process of the cell. It starts to digest its own organelles, and the lysosomes in these conditions, they are known as the autophagosomes, and it occurs during periods of starvation. Autolysis, this is the digestion of the entire cell. Enzymes spread inside the cytoplasm, and such lysosomes are called suicidal bags. It happens during apoptosis, and it happens during necrosis. Okay? They are also involved in autophagy, that is the self-eating process. During this process, some worn out and old parts of the cell, such as mitochondria, etc., are digested. In this way, materials of the cell may be recycled and the cell may be renewed. Ye hai autophagy ka. These enzymes can also result in the autolysis, that is the degeneration of the cell, as may occur during some developmental processes. Lysosomes also release enzymes for extracellular digestion. Extracellular digestion means digestion that is going to take place outside the cell. Intracellular digestion, digestion taking place inside the cell. Extracellular digestion, digestion taking place outside the cell. The enzymes will be transported away from the cell. Okay? ठीक है.